Welcome back to PQF Academy. I do want to say something I think I may have forgotten. When we made this bag, I think I forgot to tell you guys how to close the hole that's in the bag. Because there's going to be a hole inside of your lining. So I think I may have forgotten to tell you guys that. So I'm going to tell you guys right now. So what you're going to do, you're going to take and fold that under. And then you're going to go to the ironing board. And you're going to iron this to flatten it out. And then you're going to go to your sewing machine. And then whatever color lining you have, that's the color your thread you want your thread to be. So then you're going to take and sew top stitch right on over that. And that's really it. Just going to top stitch over that hole, closing that hole. Okay? I figured I'd tell you guys that just in case I forgot to tell you guys that. All right. So remember, this was the first bag we made. Every Monday, remember, it's always instruction day. All right, so you'll have time to be able to get your materials. So we're going to build off of this bag. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to build off of this pattern that we made. We have our pattern, our bag pattern. This is our front, our back, our linings, front and back. This is basically almost the whole entire bag. And we have our handle, our strap. But in this case, this is gonna be a handle, and then on Thursday, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're gonna take and put these off to the side. Now, what we do need for this, we are going to need our cardboard paper. We're going to need a ruler, because what we're going to do, we're going to move into making a pocket. We're going to move into making what we call a slip pocket. All right, it's basically one long piece, and you're gonna go right down the middle, and it's gonna have two pockets on the inside. So it's a slip pocket, so everything just slips right into it. All right, so this is gonna be kind of a short video. Also in this video, I'm gonna show you one of the methods. I'm gonna show you one of the methods because that one's kind of quick and easy to do on how to price how much your bag is, how much you're going to sell your bag for. So I'm going to show you that and show you one of the methods, and then there is going to be a bonus video because it's going to be a little bit longer to show you how to do it the other way, which is I like to call it the manufacturer's way. So yeah, that one's going to be a bonus video throughout the week. It's just going to be one time for that video. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with making our pocket. We're back. So we have our pattern, whatever we're going to use to make the pattern, whatever paper you're going to use to make your pattern. Like I said, I like to use poster board paper, and because it already has a straight edge already up that way, and then it also, it has a straight edge going down that way. You're going to need your ruler, and you're also going to need a pen. One thing about a slip pocket is that you can make it the whole entire length of your bag pattern. So if I wanted to, what I mean by that, with this bag, I can make this the whole entire size of the lining piece in the way that I'm going to show you. Okay? And so that it covers the whole bag if you wanted to. Technically, I don't like that. I like to make my slip pocket a nice, comfy size. So the nice, comfy size I like to have it at is 12 inches by 12.5 inches by 12.5 inches. That's what I like to have mine by. That's a nice size for me. I feel like it's excuse me. I feel like it's deep enough to put your cell phone in, deep enough to put some keys in, something that you want to grab real quick. It's deep enough to have it in there so it won't fall out. So what we're going to do is just go right across here and then straight down. That's it. Now I have my slip pocket, so I'll mark it down, slip pocket. Sorry, I had a brain fart right there for a minute. Now, I'll also mark, hey, this side is 12.5 from here, and then across is 12.5 also. All right. So then we're going to take this and you're just going to take and cut this out. Now you should have a total of 3 patterns. So now what we're going to do, like I said, I'm going to show you how to, with your first bag, the first method on pricing your bag. Okay. Remember, we had 1 yard for every single thing, right? We had 1 yard. You had 1 yard for your lining, 1 yard for lining, 1 yard for exterior. Okay. And then we had 2 yards for your interfacing, your SF, actually 101. Okay. And it took us 30 minutes to make this bag. Okay. Now, like I had told you before, you should have kept your receipts, and hopefully you did, because if you did keep your receipts, then this is going to be a little bit easy, a whole lot easier, right? So I'm going to use hypotheticals, right? Let's say my my exterior fabric costs, let's say it costs $14. My exterior fabric costs $14. My lining fabric costs $5. My interfacing of 2 yards costs, let's say for the sake of math, it costs $14 for 2 yards. Okay. And it, like I said, took us 30 minutes to make this. Now with this method, we're going to use because we basically use every single bit of it except for the exterior. Remember, we didn't use too much of the exterior, but that's going to be the second method. I show you how to account for that. Okay. So what we're going to do is go to our calculator. Is 14 plus 5 plus 14. That equals a total of $33 in materials. Okay. $33 in materials. Now, it took us 30 minutes to make it. So what we have to do is transfer that into a decimal. Okay. So 0.5 is a half hour in a decimal. Okay. Now, the next big thing that we have to worry about and we have to look at is how much do you want to pay yourself? How much do you think you're worth per hour? Some people, if you're whatever your state minimum is, if you want to do minimum wage, you can. If you want to do whatever you're making already at your actual job, you can. Or if you just want to put any type of price tag on you, it's completely up to you how much you want to pay yourself. So hypothetically, we're going to put down, we pay ourselves $20 an hour. Okay. So what I'm going to do is times $20 times 0.5. So 20 times 0.5 equals $10. All right. So $10 is what I'm going to make off of. $10 is what I'm paying myself for making this bag. That's what it costs. So we're going to put that $10 down here. Then we're just going to add this up. That's $43. $43 is what it costs for me to make that bag. Now, I'm gonna switch over, and you're gonna look at me face to face when it comes to this part right here, okay? I wanted to bring you back up here to this part. I wanted to look at you, all right? I want you to look at me. So we know it cost us $43 to make this bag, all right? That's the cost that it took to make this bag. Now we have to look at, what do we want our markup to be? Also known as margins. All right. I know I probably said it all wrong. I got a little bit of country, a little bit of city in me that's kind of intervening there. So bear with me. But your markup, typically in fashion, especially when it comes to bag making, typically markups are about 100%. Okay. Majority of times your markup is going to be your name. Your markup is your skills. So what do you want your profit to be, basically, off of making this bag? Because we haven't gotten to making a profit. Only thing we got into is the cost of making this bag. Also, yes, can we get this fabric? Can we get this down a little bit lower? You can with different types of fabric. Or ordering fabric in bulk. That's something totally different down the line that we'll talk about. and we can do things of that nature. You know, you can do things where you can possibly get the time down to 20 minutes. That's how long it takes me to make it. It takes me typically to make this bag typically 20 minutes. So there's a lot of things you can do to get the cost down, you know, but one of the things you have to figure out is what's your markup going to be for this? What type of profit margins do I want? Do I want a 20% profit margin? Do I want a 50% profit margin? Or do I want a 100% profit margin? One of those things that you'll also have to realize once we're going to get there and we're going to talk about all of this, but I want you to keep this in the back of your mind. You'll begin to learn what your profit margins are going to be when we find our target audience. All right. That's going to be the catalyst to know, excuse me, I apologize. That's going to be the catalyst to know how much I'm going to really sell this bag for and how much my profit is going to be, because I know my target market, or however you want to call it, target audience. Okay? So, as of right now, we know it costs $43 to make this bag. But what we don't know is what we want our margins to be, our profit margins. Like I said, typically it's 100% in the fashion business or in the bag making business. But if you want to be more conservative, depending on your target audience or your target market, it could be 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. That's your profit. That's what you want to profit off of the bag, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and recap, all right? All right, so quick recap. So what did I show you today? I showed you how to, once again, remember, if you still have that hole in the bottom of your lining, remember, go to the ironing board, fold this over, go iron it, and then go ahead and top stitch it. Remember, the thread should be the same color as your lining, okay? So when you go to look in it, nobody can see that, okay? So I also showed you how to make a slip pocket. All right, I know this is a different color than what I actually used to actually show you how to do it. I already had a slip pocket already, but I just, for the sake of the video, I wanted to show you how to make a slip pocket. I also showed you how to look at the cost of how much it costs you to make your item. Once again, if you want it, you can get the cost down lower by, you know, choosing different fabrics, you know, buying in bulk, things of that nature. I'm going to show you all the tricks and trades as we get further down the line on how to, you know, reduce the cost of the material. One thing I didn't show you was how to price the item, because as of right now, we don't know who we're selling to. So I don't know how much my profit margin is going to be, because I have to figure out who I'm selling to. Because once I figure out who I'm selling to, which is my target market or my target audience, then will I be able to price my item and make sure it's the correct way to price it. Meaning that I'm not just sitting on inventory because I don't know who I'm selling to. Okay? So, what are we going to need for Thursday? We're going to need our slip pocket. We're going to need our strap. We're going to need our main lining piece. In addition to that, we are going to need 1 yard of lining, 1 yard of exterior, and interfacing, SF101. On top of that, we're also going to need our sewing machine, we're going to need cutting utensils, and we're also going to need pins or some type of weights to be able to hold this down, okay? So, thank you for tuning in with PQF Academy. If you like and enjoyed what so far, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know whenever I post. Remember, I post every single Monday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Every Monday is going to be the instructions, and every Thursday will be us actually making the item. Thank you once again for tuning in to PQF Academy.